Hey buddies, 54 New Star here, and this is the start of a new tutorial series, a mini tutorial series, because I'm not gonna go, I'm gonna finish this, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna build a 3-4 level game with several objectives, with a common foe, and with a single player, and with items you have to pick up, and things, and, one gun that you can shoot. Um, and then I'm going to move on to another tutorial series. But a lot of you guys, including one specific person, I'll put, and you know who you are. You've been kind of continually saying we want mobile games, we want mobile games, we want mobile games, and we want to use Construct 2. Now, here's my hesitation on it, and I finally got it down to where it would work. Is the fact that there are a bunch of exporters to Android, and I'll just pull up what we have because I'm not. We're gonna go over this, but I just want to detail some information first before we get into anything, so you know why I was a little hesitant. As you can see, Construct 2 is a really, really great engine, and it can export to a lot of great platforms. We got HTML, we got Chrome, Arcade, Congregate, and then we hit mobile, which is PhoneGap. PhoneGap is great for those tiny games where it's more like you hit the blue circle, can you hit the blue circle again? Like, match pair cards. Or if you could do it on, and I've been wanting to do this, is to create using Construct to create a mobile book for Android or whatever, an ebook, because it'd be pretty simple. But a lot of people use Cocoon JS, and I've seen a lot of people create a lot of great games with this, but I've been having some trouble doing this due to the fact that you need to unlock it with some special something, and I've just been a little bit too lazy. I guess that's about it to do that. Not that I've been wanting to do it, I just haven't had the time lately, so I've been looking for other ways and other exporters that work. Now, I tried Intel XDK before, and it didn't work. Well, somebody bought it, somebody looked into it, somebody fixed it, and now this is working on the Samsung tablet, and I'm moving a character right now, and he's moving up and down. That's basically all we're gonna do, is move a character up and down, and then in the next tutorial he'll move right and left. So it's basically the old school top down, where he doesn't move in angles, he moves up, down, right and left. And then you guys can add angles if you want, because it's very, very simple. It's similar to the PC, but there's some rules to us doing this, because again, it works really good. I don't have any slowdown issues or anything like that, but you have to use a certain thing, and that's why I pulled up the clean basic Construct 2 sheet. Is we go to new, and you go to select this template, and you want to click new Intel XDK project. This builds it specifically for that device. Now this says this template forces portrait orientation, and you have to go into the events to set it. What I've learned is that this sets it into a way to where it can process it easier. So just automatically, I went into the event sheet, and I'm gonna go over this again. And I said, okay, and this is already in there. But I went to landscape and I said done, so it would be in a landscape. Now, if you don't know what landscape is basically widescreen, while portrait is basically it being very narrow. So you want it to actually be landscape, because that's how you're actually most likely going to be seeing it on your devices. So let's get straight to this tutorial, and don't worry, I will be putting down all the sprites I've used and all that stuff. All that stuff that I've used down in the link, and it's free for anybody to use. So let's exit off all this stuff. Okay, so as you can see, I've labeled everything in my projects. Loading, main menu, the story, level 1. That's it. So loading, it's just this, loading. And then we have to prevent auto rotate, set orientation to landscape. On start of layout, wait 4 seconds, go to number 2, main menu. So let's go to main menu. Now main menu is a black and white space background with the play button. On touch play button, go to system, go to layout, go to 3, the story. Now in mine I put a very basic story. But here's the thing, XDK doesn't really actually, unless you have to pack the sprite, not the sprite, but the fonts with it, and XDK doesn't do that. So every time you have something that you want to put a, like, you instantly say, oh, I'll just put a text box or a text box or just some text. Nope, you have to go into Paint or Paint.net and type something out and then load up as a sprite. Else, I don't know, and I'll actually show you an example. After this video, I'll load up me, with my camera recording my screen, on my device, what it looks like, because, and this is what this loading screen actually used to be, a text box, until I got a bunch of zeros, and it's like, okay, that's crazy. So anytime you have font or a text box, just replace it with a sprite with some words on it. So you just go into Paint or Paint.net or GIMP or Photoshop, whatever, type it all up, boom, you're good to go. Now, I have, so you read this, you're done, on touch sprite check mark, go to, and I say check mark because it is a check mark, not that I named it, it's named sprite. Go to system, go to 4, under dash, or underscore whatever, level 1. So we have to go to level 1. And level 1. Okay, this is level 1. These are 4 boxes, and I actually haven't put solid on them yet. So it's this, does this have solid? Enable solid, yeah. And then this is just a seamless background, so it's a tiled background. And then these are just sprites. This is the player. He's a spaceman or astronaut, and he's got 2 animations so far. So we can just be basic. His idle, it's just 2 of the same animation. It's a very slight movement difference, so I don't think it actually even matters. And you have to label them. So idle and walk is very basic. It's just 3 frames. And what I did was I set on, for both, I set speed and loop yes. Because when he's walking, you just don't want him walking and then not walking and he's still moving. So you set it loop, loop, loop. And when he's idle, he's just constantly doing his idle animation. Alright, now, also to let you know, I have 2 layers. Layer 0 is for just items, like collectibles. It's going to be for building our scene, because our scene is very basic now. So if I undo the UI, it's just player, the floor, the collidable box, not boxes, but the walls, and the UI. Sorry, you cannot see. So I'm going to change the background to black. I have no idea why they just did that. Okay. Whatever. But basically, I have this. This is just a sprite. It's just, to be decorative. Now, I'm actually going to zoom on this. Okay. So we have this, and this is called center. That's our button. That's up, that's down. This is just decorative. and it's kind of needed, but it's just decorative, just to be there, just so it's pretty. These are white. These 3 little boxes are white because we need to see them now, but in game, when you're finished with it, you'll just put them as transparent. So what you do is you go into here, and then you'll just white it out. But we need to see them now, so we know that they're actually working, that this thing is colliding with these. Alright, so that's our button, and that's our center. Think of these as magnets or whatever. Yeah, that's basically it. Okay, let's go in the code now. So, on start of layout, player, set animation to idle, play from beginning, move sprite 3 to top of layer, because I was having issues of seeing the white boxes, so that's not really important. Well, in your development build, you should actually do that so you can see it. And every time you edit, you should actually set them to white and then move sprite to top of layer. So that's this basic extra code you should do. Okay, now what you actually, now this is something I need to tell you to do, or tell you how to do before you do anything else. Insert new object, touch, which will be a little hand, which I'm going to show you. It's like right here. So I'm going to zoom in on that. See this little hand? That's touch. So you're going to click right here, and then you're going to see touch right next to the mouse, keyboard, or gamepad. So it's touching down, and this is a little square. So whatever you name down and is below, then you're going to basically, yeah, that's down. So when our little player circle, that collides with this, and this is labeled down, then player set animation to walk, play from beginning, simulate 8 direction pressing down, and then what I did with my character is I gave him behaviors of scroll to, 8 direction, custom movement, and bound to layout. And that's just how I roll with it. You guys can do something different, but it works with me. Is touching, so touch is touching down the square. So you move your finger down to the down box, and that sets the animation to walk. It simulates the 8 direction pressing down, so he's now facing down. And then this is set the custom movement vertical speed. So in custom movement, and that's this. Set custom movement, that'd be, yeah, right there. Set speed, vertical 50, and then now he's walking down at 50 pixels. And then this is, you know, when you move on your phone and the, okay, you move your phone, your thumb on your phone, and the little texture thumb button moves to it. This is basically it. So that little button, and I need to X out that, okay. This little thumb button will move to where your finger is, basically to where the down cube is. Okay, so we need to say, so this is basically saying, and actually we'll need to go back further, is sprite set position to down, and down, if you remember, is our box. So we need to go down, and then we click on them. So in the little archive or whatever, down, and then we need to select that, highlight that, double click that, highlight that, double click that, and we now, one moment, double click that. So we now have down X, down Y. Done. Okay, on touch end. What is touch end? It's basically saying whatever last touch you did, it's now not doing it. So on end touch end, and this is 0. This is basically say enter a 0 base index of the touch to test. Educational guess, 0 for first touch, 1 for second, etc. So we haven't done a whole lot, so I don't need to get overcomplicated on this. I just put 0. And it's default by that anyway. Set animation to idle, stop a direction, stop custom movement, and set our little decorative and set this button. Set this button that we have to move around to center. Remember, we have a cube right in the center of our button, and we labeled it center. This is so when you release the button, it automatically goes up to center, so you can go back to that button and go up or right or left. So that's our button, and basically we do the same thing. We double click on it, and we say get the object's x coordinates in pixels and get the y coordinates in pixels, and you set those there. And then basically what I did was I clicked on these, I copied, unselect, I paste, and then I just edited it. Excuse me, for up and on touch end. Which actually, I guess you technically don't need to repeat this because it has for this. But for my state of mind, I kind of have to do this. And I'll probably edit or fix that and then tell you guys, or you guys can play around with it. But I always have, if it's done touching or whatever, that's the end. If it's done touching with that, that's the end. Which, you probably shouldn't, you probably don't need this, because since you already have that, and it's already doing the editing for the movement, but that's just for my frame of mind. So when you run the layout, so this is partially how it's going to work. So it's loading, we hit play, and that's how it's going to work. And that's with WASD key. So it does work on the computer. And that's with my, and I'm clicking the little boxes. And I'm going to have a right, so I'm going to have to move this over a little bit, or make it smaller, and do a right and left, and I may actually do angles. But what I actually did was, wrong one, is I set the player, level 1, click on the player, is I set on his 8 directions, I set it for 4 directions to be the classic, what do you call it? He can't really do angles. He can just do, like a plus sign, up, down, right, and left. So that's it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're going to be doing right and left and maybe angles. I have to play around with that. And then I will, I'll edit some things, bring you up to speed on those, and then what we're going to do is we're going to practice with a shooting button, which actually should be just like this. Add sprite, open, and this is the enemy sprites. This is all what you're getting, guys. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Alright, this is the shooting button. And another idea, not another idea. This is basically what we're going to click on to shoot. So you tap that and he shoots. And I don't think he's going to have ammo. He'll just have like a infinite amount of shooting. Or if you guys want, I'll actually put an ammo limit. So you guys know how to do infinite ammo, but I'll put a limit on his ammo. I'll also do a health bar. I'll do a health bar that's really sci-fi-ish. I've already done that, and I'll put a health indicator like in numbers, so you can see like the way like temperature does on a temperature scale, where it goes from all that red different color, where it drops down in size, and I'll do a 1 or 0 to 100 scale and all that stuff, and maybe a map indicator. But another thing for size is this map layout is 1280 by 1 or by 1024. I set view. Views is 640 by 480. So basically what you're going to be viewing is this dotted outline. The whole map is this right here. So that's why I got this so sized up. So hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. Again, there'll be a, like I said, a little mini series of these, so that will, and I'm going to do the full thing from creation to exporting it to XDK. XDK is not, the best thing out there. Again, Cocoon.js is really good, but I'm having some trouble figuring that out. But actually, this thing is really, really smooth. Again, I'm picking up my video game, and it plays decently. I'm not getting any lags. My character's slow because I set him slow because I didn't know how well this was gonna play. But I've actually reset him, and he goes faster now. Like, I have a speed dial where I can set him faster. And only time will tell if it's gonna get worse or better. Hopefully better though, because I do actually really like the system, because you can add several different settings, and then it'll be really, really good. So again, guys, next tutorial coming up really quite soon. It's not too hard. It's just a lot of you putting on a GUI or GUI button to touch and all that stuff. Other than that, it's pretty much the same as a PC 2D game. So hope to see you in the next tutorial, guys.